The voucher school program was first introduced in Milwaukee in 1990. Voucher schools were originally suggested as an experiment to introduce competition into education, with the stated goal of improving education for all. While voucher schools accept public money to educate the children of Milwaukee, they are not accountable to any sort of public agency or any of the regulations which guide the operation of our public school systems. Over the life of the voucher program in Milwaukee, money has been steadily drained from public schools to fund voucher schools, to the tune of $66 million a year, over $1 billion in all. This funding deficit has severely impacted the public system and reduced opportunities for public school students. Class sizes have increased drastically. Programs such as art, music, and physical education have been cut, and support staff like librarians, special education teachers, and security have lost their jobs. Privately run voucher schools do not have to educate all students equally. Support for students with special needs is almost non-existent, and students with disciplinary issues, problems at home, or special education needs are counseled out of voucher schools, often after the voucher school has received the public money set aside for that child's education. The funding deficit in MPS has led many schools to embrace revitalizing ideas such as the community school model. Community schools invite community partners into the school to participate in educating and supporting the students. Local businesses, professionals, public service providers, and more can form partnerships with the schools to provide services to the students who need them most. The voucher program has drained over $1 billion and slashed learning opportunities for more than 70,000 children in the Milwaukee public schools. It's time to stand up for our kids and fund public schools that welcome and serve all children.
Our schools, our solution. Our schools, our solution. Our schools, our solution. Our schools, our solution. Thank you very much.
I'm Bob Peterson. I'm president of the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association, the largest union local in the state of Wisconsin. The Milwaukee Teachers Education Association and public sector unions throughout the state are actually in the fight for our lives to defend the public sector, public schools in particular, as a foundation of democracy.
Look, I don't want to turn a single public school in this district over to a private company, and I think it would be monumentally wasteful to throw additional millions at out-of-state vendors or strategic partners who fly in on Monday to yell at a teacher or two and collect a paycheck and fly home to Florida for the weekend.
It seems as though the board has deserted us. They're our children. We cannot desert them by handing our school over to Universal or any other private service entity.
You know, we need a commitment to our children, and we need it from all of you.
We can work together to transform our schools, and we can do it in such a way that we can engage the rest of community in that process, rather than continue the whole idea that schools are sort of like isolated buildings within a community.
We are here on this cold, wintry day to take a stand for public education. We are here because we care about public schools that are accountable and democratic.
Public is what I pay taxes for. I bought my house in my neighborhood. I want to pay for my neighborhood school.
If schools are changed to private or charter, it is not hard to see that many of our students will fall through the cracks.
We have a choice, chaos or community. And I say we choose community. Our education is not for sale.
What we understand is that to solve the school's problems, we have to solve our neighborhood and community problems. Anything less will not work. In the face of this attack, a strong coalition called Schools and Communities United have come together to defend and improve the public schools.
Multiple groups from across the city with a common interest of ending privatization in our city and expanding opportunities for every resident in the city via public schools.
Within 2 years, probably 30 to 50 of the lowest performing schools in Milwaukee would be charterized. The district would collapse.
If we're not successful in working with others, what's at stake is basically the foundation of our democracy, public schools.
Folks across the city, whether they're east side, west side, south side, are starting to see that we need strong public schools and strong public institutions across this city for the city to be healthy as a whole.
Thank you for coming out. 60 years ago, there was a historic, unanimous Supreme Court decision that ruled separate is not equal. Today we are commemorating, but we're doing more than that. We're recommitting ourselves to filling the promise of Brown v. Board. We're recommitting ourselves to building a movement and working together to get the schools and communities that our children deserve.
So today, we celebrate. We celebrate the perseverance of the families involved, the individuals fighting for equality. We celebrate that they stayed true to their goals and did not turn back, even when the roads became stony and dark.
Healthy communities and a multiracial democracy require strong public schools. There is no other option.
The tide is turning, and we're taking back Milwaukee.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to fulfill the promise of Brown versus the Board of Education. And we're never going to turn our back on our children. And we're never going to leave a child behind. This is who we are, because it is you, the people, who are going to make this happen.
No matter what sexuality, religion, or ethnicity you are, once we see our skin color is nothing but a facade of our minds, we will see the person sitting next to us is our long-lost twin.
You know, I'm committed to this city, and I'm committed to public education in this city because it's a right.
We deserve it because everybody deserves to have a good future.
My school doesn't have the money it needs to fund some of the stuff at our school.
We need to keep our public schools public, because public schools serve all children, even children with disabilities like me.
It should be known as common sense. We deserve a quality education, right?
Privatization and voucher schools steal from the students of Milwaukee Public Schools in a number of different ways. One is whenever a student leaves MPS, the money follows. But it's not just students that are left in MPS who are being stolen from, it's the students who actually leave and go to these schools with the promise of a better education that has not been delivered on.
Charter schools, you know, they say one thing, but they really mean something different. And to me, I just think it's about the funds, not the well-being of the kids for the future.
In private sector schools, they're dominated by a few people at the top. They make the decision, not in the public realm, because everybody is involved in that. It's a democratic process.
Our commitment to the kids has to trump any fear that we have. The MTEA, our members, we see ourselves as the guardians of Milwaukee Public Schools. We're the only game in town that's unabashedly in support. Not one more private charter. You need a union to stand with you to demand appropriate practice for children in our city. We are responsible for amplifying the voices of teachers in classrooms because they are the practitioners, they are the people that interface minute to minute with our kids who are the point. A community can't thrive without a vibrant, well-resourced, strong public school system. In Milwaukee, our public schools welcome every kid, every day, any time of the day, with whatever set of challenges and strengths that they bring to the table.
It's important for me to be a part of the MTEA because without the MTEA, I don't have a voice. If you value creating a learning environment that benefits the children, the students that MPS services, joining the MTEA is the single most productive route to that goal.
I love being a part of MTEA. We do so much advocacy for our members and for our students and for the larger community. MTEA is really the only collective voice that we have as teachers in order to make a difference in our own professions.
The MTEA is going to support you 100% of the time, and they're always going to be there to help you with any
problems or concerns that you're having, and they're going above and beyond by providing professional development for teachers so that we can be a positive change for MTS.
The teacher's role in a community is multifaceted, right? A teacher is, number one, a respectful observer and a learner, and then hopefully a partner and an ally and an advocate. This is an incredible crossroads in public education nationally and certainly in the city of Milwaukee.
We're engaging community members because we want to get a sense of what they think about public education and public schools. And then we also want to really create an action plan in terms of what we're going to do moving forward. It's really a coalition of organizations that have come together to make sure that we do have community engagement within the city of Milwaukee.
What we understand is that to solve the school's problems, we have to solve our neighborhood and community problems. The community school model is an approach that brings communities into schools and takes students and education out to the community. Systematically coordinate services for students, whether healthcare services, vision, also arts, drama, tutoring. By bringing the resources together in the community school model, we're able to service students in such a way that teachers and educators have actually more time and can focus their attention on the academic and social learning that needs to take place.
I'm looking forward to learning more about the community school model and taking it back to my school and sharing it with other members of the Milwaukee Public Schools community and other community members outside of education.
The community school model provides accountability for parents, it provides accountability to the community.
If anybody's going to take over our schools, it's going to be the community. And when I introduce the community schools bill next session, I can count everybody's help, right?
Yes.
Thank you all and come back stronger.
A teacher has a responsibility to the students in her or his classroom, to the students in the school as a whole, and then to the general welfare and health of the block surrounding that school. Wherever you live, there's a public school near you. Go inside. Meet the students, meet the educators, meet the school leaders, and find out what your part is in making sure that the public school in your neighborhood thrives and is offering opportunities for every kid.
Educators and community members alike have to work together in alliances to address not only school issues but broader community issues, because school and community issues are connected.
What's at stake for us in Milwaukee and for every city in the United States is whether or not we're truly a democracy and whether or not public schools are truly a part of that democracy. We have to be educated, networked, and braver than we have ever been.
It's time for us as a union to reclaim our profession, reclaim our classrooms, and to stop privatization. We have to defend the public sector workers, because without strong public sector workers with wages and benefits, our democracy will crumble.